Welcome back.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
You're watching Tanner's Haunted Secrets
on the Outline Network.
What they say.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's a secret sound hidden deep within the center of the earth. Until you listen closely enough, you can hear it. And it sounds like razors through flesh. We are merely here to turn up the volume.
Well, welcome. And I am so excited. We have another wonderful guest on the show. And let me just point out, I need to make a new flag because that one has been destroyed by the elements. When you leave stuff outside, it will go bye-bye. But we have a wonderful guest here, and I can't wait to dive into this. I've been super excited. If you are a person on TikTok, you might have came across this guy. This is Icky or Eckie. Icky. I'm going to struggle with that every single time, but welcome to the show, and really glad that you're here.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
So, I'm excited because I just watched one of your TikToks, and you were talking about your character that you're working on, and your character is going to go and have teeth, and you're kind of asking people for their opinion on these teeth because that's very important in figuring out, is this going to make this character, or is this going to be one of those things that this character really didn't need that? So getting people's opinions, I really applaud you for that.
Well, when I created The Blind Man, it was only my second year in haunting. And so I was a novice at applying makeup, prosthetics, and just trying to build a character. And then since then, I've played different characters, and I have developed new techniques. Like in the picture that I have of the Blind Man, my beard is so nice. It's so pretty. And it wouldn't make sense in real terms, that was the first year I did haunt. It was a spur of the moment character. He was like a grave digger, jester kind of guy. I was hanging out with a couple of vampires, and I would chase people around with a shovel and ask them if they want to smell it. And I acted like. There it is. Yeah. So the beard, it's too pretty. So the beard's going to get all gross. And the teeth, well, he's supposed to be a hermit, just a gross dude. And so I think that some gnarly teeth are going to be like fantastic. I don't have the hair like I used to in that picture, unfortunately, rip. But I'm hoping to like bring some scraggly, maybe some crypt keeper looking hair to the picture. Um, I'm trying to be less appealing.
Oh yeah.
Because the one of the videos I talk about is their haunt are monster bunnies, individuals that are sexually attracted to the monsters and the actors and stuff. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I want people to be like, ew, stay away from me.
And that's one of the
So,
things that I think it's wonderful to understand what kind of character and the things that I just sent her a message a little bit ago. But I think it's wonderful that when you look at a character, you need to figure out the details. And a lot of places say you don't have to have the details because it's in the dark. But if you're going to be a Q line or you're going to be a person that's right in their face, those details do matter.
right. And one of the things that I would do as the blind man is that when they first walked into my scene, I didn't so much jump scare them. I had my back turned to them. So when they come in, I have my back turned to them. They have my head crooked. I'm twitching a little bit, and I'm singing a song, and I'm singing, I got the whole world in my hands. I got the whole. And then they would creep in, and either they're loud or they're trying to be quiet. They'll creep in, and I stop singing. And I'll sit still as long as I can until they get to about my peripheral. And then I'll spin around on them, and then they're like, oh, God, he's eyeless. And I would be in people's faces there for, a hot minute, and I'm sniffing them, and I'm, getting up in their ears, and I can tell that your skin's gonna taste so good. Say things like that. So, but I want people to relch. I want people to be like, the closer I get to them. And that's why I was asking folks what the best, ugliest teeth I could find that's realistic, and just have yuck mouth.
Yeah. I will tell you, it is great to hear all these little nursery rhymes and this and that, and you get the opportunity and slow them down, and it just brings that. No, it's supposed to be at this no, you put it at that tempo, just brings people to fear you even more, and I love that. I absolutely love that. There is just something about some characters when you go ahead and you bring them and you bring music that people know, and you do that, they just are like, no, I don't like that.
And I stole that idea. I stole that song from what was it? The Fugitive? No, not The Fugitive. Oh man, it's an old movie. Convict Air, something like that.
Oh yeah.
And the bad guy, the one that had, or the worst guy, the one that had the face mask, and the Hannibal Lecter guy, he was singing that during the plane crash. And I thought that, hey, that was disturbing. Let's bring disturbing to this guy too.
Another song that I really think is very interesting comes from See No Evil. And that's the guy that would rip out the eyes of everybody that came in around. And they slowed down Jesus Loves the Little Children so much that I love how they did it. And it just, yeah.
And that's the thing. Like I have two different story paths that I want to bring to the table and discuss with, whoever I'm doing a haunt with, because at some point, I want there to be a whole section just for the blind man. I want him to be set in a toxic swamp. There's going to be at least a swamp witch, hopefully played by my wife. And then and I hope to have like his little followers, like a little cult. So I'm hoping to bring some, like you said, maybe the 3 blind mice even thrown in there real slow. But something that people kind of push the sacrilege a little bit. Get people a little unnerved by them following this man who had his eyes plucked out of his face.
I don't know. Last time I went haunting Friday the 13th last month, it was really nice because I was walking around with a painter's pail, and inside of it was something that looked like gravy train dog food. And I was actually taking it out in front of people and throwing it in this plastic container. I was like, "Do you want to take a little bite?" And people just were saying it was dog food, cat food, everything. And yeah, the creep out is one of the best things. I love pop scares. I love this and that. But if you're going to try doing the creep out and you get my attention, I love it.
And one of the reasons why I did have to do the whole stand there, let them see me first, because I guess adopted that scene from a haunter the year before. So it was already built, and it was built like a little shack, stabbing cabin, whatever you want to call it. But it also had a loop in it. Like you come in, you can take a right, and then you have another little T, and then you could either come back around and face me, or you go back down and there's another farther hallway and it loops you back around and there's a door, and all you do is just wind up straight back at the entrance to my scene. So to keep people from just going immediately out the exit, I had to stand there and then kind of force them around the rest of the haunt or my scene. So at one point I could get at least 4, 5 even like jump scares on a group. And then it also allowed me to be able to get like multiple scares on multiple groups. Because sometimes, we all experience the Congo line. And if you got like 4 groups in a small area all trying to figure out which way to go, I'm just going to be, whoever's closest to me, you're a victim. Sorry. Coming after you.
I will tell you, as a haunt actor, one of the best things is being able to take your character and bring them to different places, different scenarios, just to see how your character would act. And there was about 3 years ago now, probably 4 years now, I was able to bring my character to a music festival. And it was great because as soon as they would say, "Okay, it's dark, let's go ahead," we would open. We would run until 4 o'clock in the morning as I was chasing whoever went into that area. And it was such a great thing because you had people that just got done watching the show, and then they would come over to the haunt, they would go through, and then they were just freaking out so bad, and I loved it. And if I got the opportunity to do it again, I would. I just would not work underneath that same person I did. I always wish him the best, but I enjoyed it, but not enough to be underneath his management skills.
I can understand that.
Have you brought your character to different activities outside the haunted season?
No, I haven't. And I've only done the Blind Man 1 year. Then the years after that, I played the main villain at the Annex of Terror as Madman Moony. And I brought a couple of adaptations of Madman Moony. And then the last year, I did an insane asylum maze where I played a crazy person in a hospital gown. And the most I've got to do on that was a weekend before haunt season opens. There's a big festival in the town that the haunt was in. So I dressed up and got to walk around the festival as a crazy person handing out flyers to the customers. That was interesting. I had fun doing it, but I've made a lot of fathers and mothers upset just walking around. So I'll eventually want to, bring the Blind Man to another event, but I would be more afraid that somebody would call the police saying that there's a wounded man here freaking people out.
Yeah, that's why you always have to have some kind of safeguarding on it.
Right.
So what part of Texas are you haunting in?
Northeast Texas. About 20 minutes north of I-20. So it's behind the pine curtain, as the people like to say. And we're about an hour, maybe a couple hours south of the Oklahoma border. So in that little section.
There's nothing little about Texas. It takes a whole day to get through the state.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it does.
I'm just saying, if you ever get at the point where you appreciate your state so much, you should split it in a quadrant. Like north side, east side, west side, south side of Texas. Because it is so huge. There has got to be so much of an environmental difference from one side to another.
There is.
Yes. There's even mountains if you go far enough to north.
Yeah, there's West Texas has the Great Permian Basin. There's sand dunes. There's and I think Kermit, Texas. Texas has its own sand dunes. I don't think people know that. And then what else? Then we got the swamps. So we got Caddo Lake kind of atmosphere. That's kind of closer to that vibe or part of Texas that I'm at. Lots of trees, lots of forests. Yeah. And pine curtain. Best I can describe it.
I'm in the pine curtain.
Yes, you are in the pine curtain. A crazy fact about my area, David Koresh came from our area. So if you don't know, Chet doesn't know who that is. But that was the leader of the Branch Davidians out of Waco, Texas.
Oh. So as you're modifying your character, what's some of the things that you quite enjoy that you've realized about this haunted house industry?
Oh, man.
And don't say it because you guys have a convention. Yes, I know. Texas has a haunters convention. I can't make it there. I'm sorry, Troy. I'm trying.
I'm going to try to make it this year. I'm talking my wife into it. We've been invited by some other folks to come to it. So that will be my first haunted convention to go to. So I'm super hyped about it. Yes. Yes. I'm excited about it. I'm hoping that by the time it gets here, I have some stuff available, or honestly, if I do get to go, I'm bringing as much money as I can, because I know I'm going to be buying things for my character while I'm there and for my haunt scene. I just know that my bank account's gonna hate me, but I'm gonna love life whenever it comes to October. So it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's great. The Texas Haunters Convention, when they started, did a fantastic job of listening to the Patriots. And when you listen to the Patriots, a lot of things will come back to see how things have been fixed for the better.
right. And that's awesome. I'm super excited. There's some friends that have some booths that are going to be there, so I'm excited to go and hang out with them and just mingle with a whole herd of haunt actors and haunted house owners, and the information that I'm going to be able to absorb is probably the most thing I'm excited about. And getting tips and ideas and knowledge that I can pass on to future haunt people. I'm trying to leave a legacy of people wanting to do Halloween and do haunts. And of course, one day I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I will have my own haunted house. The dream I know won't happen is to have a whole haunted theme park. So Disneyland, but it's all haunted theme park. The rides all haunt theme, restaurants all haunted themes. So that's the dream. I think that's everybody's dream, is to have haunted house theme park, haunted theme park.
If you do a haunted house theme park, I will be more than happy to walk through the gates on that.
Last I checked, it would cost maybe $5 billion to get started. So that was just going off what this guy did for his daughter, who built her a theme park. So he built a pretty awesome theme park for 2 to 5 billion.
Is that the one that he made it for his autistic daughter?
Yes, sir. That's it. That's the one.
I know exactly where you're shooting.
So that's where I got my premise from. If I just got to find the investors, but there's not I can't drive by a place that is for rent, like a warehouse or a storefront or something, without me being like, I could do a haunt there. I can do a little haunted house there. Yeah, for sure. Always thinking of a possibility of where I could do a haunted house.
So a while back, we were talking about with one of our guests on some of the stuff that you really, really need to watch. And you need to really pay attention to the fire code in your local area.
Yes.
That is going to be a major make or break. And then you need to look at, do you have the proper area and space for what you're trying to design? I mean, not just inside. I'm also talking about outside.
Right.
Because parking is a major thing, because we were just talking about, before we started, how parking can be so much of a situation that a city might make an ordinance against you. So that's just a couple of things to really think about, because I want to see every haunted house succeed.
Yes.
I want to see the best of the industry come out. Without a doubt, our industry is a lot more different than anyone else's industry, but we take the ones that don't feel like they truly have a home, and we have made this industry into their home.
Yes. Because I didn't start haunt acting until I was in my 30s. Now I've been every year whenever I was, I don't know, I was guess 8. My mom would take me to haunted houses. And so that was the thing that me and my mom would do is we would go to the haunted houses in the local area. And then family or a group of us would go to like the bigger haunts in the Dallas area and or the DFW area, or sometimes even in the Louisiana area. So I grew up always wanting to like go to haunted houses and never had an opportunity to join a haunted house. I didn't think that it was possible just to go up and audition for one, and didn't have the personal time due to work, and was traveling all the time and had a very inconsistent work schedule that it didn't allow me to do a lot of haunted or go be a haunt actor. And then it wasn't until like later in my 30s that I was able to finally do it. I had a consistent enough job. I was home every night, wasn't traveling. And so I don't think that people should stay away from a haunted house just because you feel like you're older. I mean, I'm 40. People don't believe me that I still get so psyched about Halloween and being a scare actor. And I don't even consider myself seasoned yet. I want some stories that some of these people have, been doing it for 20, 15 years kind of stories. I still consider myself a novice, but that doesn't mean I don't want to get like, I don't want to blow up. I want to get in there. I want to like experience it all while I still feel young.
I've got younger kids. I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And I need them to be able to know that they can do these things. Like, they've already been randomly practicing things they've heard from haunters. Like walking up to somebody with her hair over her face and say, "I could smell you." And you can see them jump like 4 feet in the air. And then Sophie's already been trying to figure out how to make the animatronics work and what she can do to make them better. I want them to know that it doesn't matter your age, go and try. I want them to be able to come see people like you and Pyle and know that they can do it too.
Right.
And dude, do you have a like song that you would suggest for like a middle schooler to sing to get the idea? Like,
I can give them some good things to say. I can that they can use it. I am more than happy to let them use this. But one of the characters that I played, Madman Moony, one of his adaptations, he was a crackhead axe murderer. I looked like a crackhead, acted like a crackhead. But one of the things I would do is I would come up to people and be like, "You have worms in your guts. You have worms in your guts." And then if they're like, "What?" You'd be like, "Yeah." And then you just bust them out with the fact like 80% of Americans have parasites in their stomach, which is true.
Oh my gosh. He sounds like what Chainer is.
dude, I had thought about suggesting that. She is my science kid. She can take that and find something even more sciencey to go with that.
And then I would follow up with like, I had an axe. I would follow him like, "You have all those worms in your guts. I could get them out for you. I'm really good with this." And and be like kind of aggressive with it. So I try to bring a little facts to my creepy, because if somebody goes and Googles it, which that's the generation that's going on right, they're going to Google your facts, and then you're like, "Oh God, America does have like 80% of the people have parasites in them. So I think that would be really creepy.
I
That is
like
so
to talk
cool.
about how people get cremated, and then I like to talk to them about at the right temperature, all the bad bacteria is cooked out of your body, and then I tell them a great recipe, and then I tell them, by the way, don't eat your friends.
Yeah. I want to eventually. I know I could probably find it on Amazon, but there's a poster and it's just the human body and it's all the different cuts of meat that you can get off the human body. I thought I want one of those in my scene for sure. I think that would be great. Or honestly, I would have it for personal decorations in my bedroom. But yeah, totally. My wife played the maid. I guess she would be a maid. She wore a maid outfit, but she also wore 7-inch platform boots. So she was 6'7" when people came in, and people were just looking up at this giant maid woman with crazy hair and with a little bit of white powder underneath her nose for whatever reasons. And she would just be glaring down at these people, grown men that just cowering down to her. And she would just say stuff like, I will love you more than your mother will. For the people that have, mother issues, I suppose. Or they were like, mommy, this mommy will kill you, or something like that. She mostly screamed at them because she has one of those really great screams. So they'll be like, oh yeah, and she just wow.
My
I
wife
love her.
has
She's
gone up
such a
to
great.
people and looked at them and said, "Hey, will you be my new mommy? My last one died." And it's true. My wife's mother is in an urn that has googly eyes. She
Fantastic.
she didn't she didn't like to be funny when she was living, but she doesn't have a choice now.
Hmm. Hey, not a bad time to get a sense of humor, maybe after the point of death, but better late than never, I suppose.
And by the way, I have been
Oh
searching,
yeah.
searching, searching
Um.
since you have made this comment. I cannot find the cuts of meat for humans on Amazon, but that doesn't mean
Ooh,
that it's not out there. That just means that apparently elk, deer, pigs, and cows are more common.
no.
So, what about this picture?
Okay, so this is the first adaptation of Madman Moony. Uh, I was inspired by the 1920s of the Mineola area, Mineola, Texas. Um, Across the street is the Lake County Playhouse, or it's the oldest continuous movie theater in Texas. And they were the ones that were put on the Annex of Terror, which was across the street and downtown Mineola. And back in the time of the 1920s in Mineola, it was the place to be if you wanted to do things bad. They had bars, what do you call them? Not hostels, the whorehouses and things of that nature. So it was a real bad time,
Brothel.
real good time, depending. Brothel. Yeah, they
The
had the
word
brothels
that you
going
are
on.
looking for is brothel.
A
Only
brothel.
because I had to write a story for a book, and the character worked at a brothel.
But he was
I thought
inspired
she
during
owned
that
that
time.
brothel.
She did, and a lot of other women worked at it.
Man, what a place. But
Oh yeah.
the actual spot where I'm at in that scene used to be a funeral home. So on the plaque there, when you come out of the building, because that was the last my scene was the last scene that you go through. You basically exited out and you're in a curiosity shop, which was owned and ran by the same people that did the haunt. And if you were to walk out and turn the corner, you would see the plaque still there of this funeral home. So I was just kind of playing off the old 20s style. The story for Madman Moony wasn't my creation. I was just asked to play the main bad guy. But he was an actor that didn't get nominated for the award or didn't win the award and loses his mind and just basically goes on a killing spree with an axe and kills his competitors and audience members and things. And then he just set up Shaq in this little room that's like back alley. The building that I'm in is like the original building. So I was just feeding and filling all the old that was there, bringing in a character from the 1920s era. And how crazy would it be for there to be an axe murderer in the 1920s? And that was the first year that my wife was haunting, and she was a victim. So he was a great character. I had fun dressing up like that. That outfit, I still have it. I kind of recycle the outfits, especially the tank tops. They smell extremely bad, but I love them. I can't get rid of them just yet. And then the axe that I'm holding is a real fire axe. I just modified it to keep the edges dull. When you get those axes, they come with those rubber pieces on the blade and on the point. And all I did was just cover up that part with some shiny tape and gross them up to kind of take the thickness of it away and just put a lot of gore on it. And people didn't think that it was real a lot of the times until I could drop it on the ground and drag it towards them, and they can hear the blade and the concrete scraping against each other and the thud of the head of the axe hitting the floor. And then people were like, okay, this guy's a whole lot creepier now that I realized that this axe is real, and I liked to do the whole spin around on them. I'm busy doing something else. They're trying to sneak by me. I spin around on them. Or my wife at the time, she would like, while I'm over there, just like being weird and stuff. So they try to sneak by me, and I spin around on them, say things like, "They should have chose me. I should have been the one that should have won." Now, granted, they didn't push the story of the Madman Moony and the haunt. So a lot of people would come in. There were sections in the haunt that people just created for themselves and were free to design their scene however they wanted to. So I was trying to push a narrative and a story of a character that I didn't totally create to folks that didn't know the story. So it confused a lot of people the first few times. A lot of people didn't know what I was saying. I was saying a lot of things out of context that they didn't understand. And that's the only thing I kind of regret, is that I wish that they would have pushed the story of Madman Moony so that people are like, oh God, this is Madman Moony. He's the worst. He's the main bad guy. But Oh
When
well. The next year, everybody knew. Yes, that is the last year. That was the Sane Asylum. That mask was my own creation. Uh, I basically made that mask. It's supposed to be somebody else's face that I'm wearing as a mask. And that was a lot of fun that year because it was my first maze to work. And we had a trap door, and it was me, my wife, and another of our friends in there. And I had a like 300-pound, 6'9" man fall through a scene wall because I scared him so bad. I jump scared him so good that he just fell through. Took the whole wall with him. I was proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie. It took a minute to get the wall fixed, but I was proud of myself.
You should be.
I had such a great setup. They had two options to go down. One option was the correct way, but of course it was the weirdest and the grossest way to go first. So nobody went that way. They go the path of least resistance, which led them down to a dead end. Real narrow. As narrow as the fire marshal allowed, what we were talking about, but as narrow as you could get, down this long hallway. There's a light strobe flashing in their face, so they can't really see in front of them. But I just creep in from behind, and I would stay extremely low. And so they would all get to the end of the line, and all it was there was a toilet with a mannequin on it. And they would, okay, well, this is a dead end. And then whoever spun around, I would just be like, in their face. There I am. And then I had a baby doll mask, or not baby doll mask, a baby doll face that I cut out, and bloodied it up, wore it around my neck, and I would chew on it. And so, people after the jump scare and get the good screams, then they would have to walk past me, and I would be like, say things like, you have really pretty face skin. Can I have it? Can I have your face skin? It looks like you moisturize. And I'm just chewing on this baby face. And it's like, I like the lotion that you use. And so I kind of went a lot more towards women. But I also did it to the guys. Oh, you have such a great face. You're so handsome. I want to be handsome like you. Can I have your face skin? Can I have it? Can I have your face skin? So
you know what
that was
Leatherface always said, right? He always said, love the skin you're in. If not, take someone else's.
I didn't know Leatherface talked, so that's why I just made the noise. My bad. That was a real sporadic moment. Forgive me. I thought that was a joke. I thought
Dude, we like sporadic here.
Okay, good. I thought
It
it
should
was
be on a show we have.
No.
It's called 30 Minute or 30 Squirrel Nuts. It's 30 minutes of just squirreling out. You'd be more than happy to join us anytime for that.
Oh, heck yeah. Don't threaten me with a good time, sir. I will be batshit if you really need me to.
My kid walked up behind me and said, I smell your autism.
Ooh.
So and I didn't even know she was there. So I slightly jumped. I'm like, oh, there you are.
Hey, he's natural, sounds like.
Smell your autism.
No, she's going to be amazing. Now I'm going to tell her about using the science fact thing. She's going to love that.
The
She's been
year
there
that
smiling at us.
The year I did the first Madman Moony was there was a friend of ours and their daughter was in it, and I would say 6. I say she was 6 years old, and she, out of everybody in that entire haunt, was the only one that scared me. that would freak me out. She would just be behind something, just like, and she's tiny and she's all like gray looking and gross. But she just had this little, and she was the only one that would scare me. And she honestly was like a contender on every night being the scariest, because it wasn't just like, she like did it.
That is awesome.
She could have been in a movie, did it. She scared the daylights out of me. So if she really gets into it, man, she is going to get a lot of praise. Children, sorry, go ahead.
I think I know who she's going to practice on first. There are some people at school that give her a problem. She's going to show them in a not combative way, don't give me any more, when she starts thinking this through.
Yeah, it's just the simple.
Exactly.
It doesn't take much. The little bit of crazy eyes, a little bit of crazy look goes a long ways.
Oh yeah.
So, well, all right, cool.
Okay.
We got questions coming up.
Oh yeah, these are from one of your younger fans, if not your youngest. I don't know. He's 6. Do you have any fans younger than 6?
Not that I know of.
You don't know? Okay.
So,
he asks he wants to know what your favorite animal is.
my favorite animal is the otter.
Ooh.
I am a big otter fan. Otter's number 1. Red panda is number 2. And then there's this little weasel thing that I see on TikTok. That's number 3. I'm not really sure what it is. It's like a minx or something. So
Mink.
But definitely the otter is my favorite.
We have minks here.
Yes. Minks are cool. Minks are super cute. It's just like, how can something be so cute, also be so like aggressive and dangerous?
It's a predator, big predator, and it's so small, but yet it doesn't care.
It's like, it's almost like it's too happy to be a little vicious thing. But it looks happy. It seems like it's happy being this creature of like being a predator. So
it might be happy, but don't use your gloves. Use your gloves.
Exactly.
Not friendly.
All right.
Not friendly.
All right.
How
what
did
else?
you come up with your makeup?
Okay, well, so each character required a different look. The blind man was just it was a spur of the moment thing. I was just trying something out. I wanted to go a different direction. I was thinking about trying to do like a skinwalker or something like that. And I realized all the work and the process that it would take to go into this. And so I tried the prosthetics for the first time. And it was really working. And then I was really enjoying the character that developed around having having no eyes. And so it was just a fluke, just trying something out with no intentions in it being a full-time character or a future character. And it just stuck and I enjoyed it. And the Madman Moony, I was wanting to go for like a ghost kind of look. So I went really pale and really darkened eyes. And then the crackhead Madman Moony was a whole lot simpler. It just required just a gross looking beard, some the scab makeup, make it look like I just have a bunch of sores on my face, splash a little blood on me. I don't want to go too crazy with my makeup. I want it to seem believable. Of course, standing there in a wife beater covered in blood doesn't seem too realistic, but I just like to think that he's just like continuously getting victims, so he's just always covered in it. So, but
yeah.
my makeup is just, I just applied what I thought would be best for the character.
Okay. What is your favorite scare to do?
Well, for a while, it was the spin around and get in their face kind of scare. But I really enjoyed doing the pop up from behind jump scare on people from this past taunt. It was a lot of fun, really getting the good screams. And so right now, it's a good jump scare. Getting a good jump scare. But I always appreciate the creepy scare too.
What is your favorite dinner?
Dinner. Well, I'm on a seafood diet. I eat it. No. My favorite dish is shrimp Alfredo. If it's made by my wife, shrimp Alfredo for sure.
Now, I gotta ask this, since
You
you
know?
brought that up. Is it with the Cajun creamy sauce or without Cajun creamy sauce?
Well, she has Creole in her, so it's with some Cajun in there for sure. She likes to say, if you're not sneezing, you ain't seasoning. I mean, we're white, but we're not that white.
This lady
Like
sounds
what?
like a goddess, okay?
Oh, and she looks like one too. Woo, just you wait. One day she's gonna be on my live, so
That'll be awesome. Okay, his last question is, what's your favorite dessert?
favorite dessert. Okay, so hear me out. I love apple cobbler and homemade vanilla ice cream. Okay. But one time my grandmother made like tortilla style apple cobbler thingies, like with tortillas, and used bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream. And I ate so much of it, I got sick, which has always been, and from then on out, apple cobbler and vanilla ice cream will always be my favorite dessert.
That is
You
awesome.
ate so much that you got sick.
Yeah. Never have done that before in my life.
I love that. My grandmother would make her own crust and make us little ones because we were all the tiny people, so everybody got the same size and nobody would fight, and then we'd get the bluebell on top of Mayfield, actually, because I lived in Tennessee. So everybody got Mayfield vanilla ice cream on top of their little apple pies. So yeah, I can definitely see why that would be your favorite.
Oh yeah. Very good. R.I.P. my grandmother. I'll never get to have it again. I just hope one day that I got to go to a good country place, a good country cafe, and they have to make apple cobbler. A lot of places don't make apple cobbler. They only make peach cobbler or blueberry cobbler, and not a lot of people do the apple cobbler. But it's something about the apples for me. I'll eat the peach, but
I need to make
There's a
another one.
place in Ohio that's called Dare Dutchman. And
I've heard
know
of.
that Dare Dutchman has had apple cobbler.
Is it a chain or is it just one restaurant?
I I think there's a couple of them, and it's
Okay.
all cooked by the Amish.
Ooh. Yeah, I can get behind that. I can definitely get behind that. Especially some good homemade apple cobbler. Oh, my big back is just yelling at me right now. Oh.
So, one of the questions that we usually ask on here is, and this is going to be kind of interesting because you're still kind of fresh into the industry, but if there's a piece of advice that you could give to someone that is just thinking about starting out in the haunted house industry, what could you give them as a good piece of advice?
You have to be okay. See if I can't say this without being too confusing. You have to be socially tough. You're going to have to put yourself in a mindset that people aren't going to make you upset. People aren't going to frazzle you. You are going to have to be like in control. You are portraying a character that isn't put off by 6'7" or things of that nature. You can't let things get to you, because the people that come through, they're going to test you. And if you don't have the mental capability of handling a bunch of people testing you, then it's going to be difficult. So you have to go into the mindset of, they're not in control, I'm in control. Whatever they do isn't going to change what I'm going to do. So that's the best advice I can give. Is you have to go into the mindset of, I'm not going to let these people, control me. I'm not going to let these people get to me, because they're going to try. They're in a state of fear, an uncomfortable situation, and they're going to lash out, either verbally, insults, sometimes physically. So you gotta be tough. You gotta be ready to take some shit talking. And if you're weak in that scenario, then you'll just be constantly you'll be constantly just down. You'd be bummed out all the time. And you just got to let things roll off your shoulders, water on a duck's back. So don't take things personally, people are freaking out. If you're doing a good job, people are going to freak out. That's when you're doing a good job. That's pretty much what I can give out. It's just can't be weak.
Did you have a person who you looked up to in the haunting business, a mentor?
Yes. Now,
Please don't say Alan Hops.
no, no.
We've had
great
Alan
guy,
Hops
but
so many times. People have been Alan Hops.
well, he a great guy. I can understand. I mean, and that's also been something I've been hearing. As a lot of people's like, yeah, I've done work with Alan, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
We've had Alan Hops on here.
So somebody that I look up to right now, it's the guy that got me into it. He's my friend. He's the one that, was like, hey, come volunteer, and finally got me into the world of being a haunt actor and stuff. And he's ran the different haunts and stuff. So he's an inspiration for me because of all the work that he's put into it. But as of like current scare actors that I'm I guess, obsessed with is Scythe. He is. Oh man, I totally forgot the haunt that he's at. But he is the guy that runs around. He has the long, straight black hair, white eyes, black face, has the mouth going, and he is able to crouch and like shuffle or to around folks. And he doesn't say anything. He's just real quiet. He works lines. Man, such a great such a great actor. Like I want to see him in action in person one day. So Scythe is the person I'm like enjoying watching right now.
It's awesome. It's really great to get into the industry and look at it, and I feel that TikTok has been able to bring and shed so much light on newer things and different actors that
Yes.
may not have been able to cross over into the mainstream as much as just flipping through and going, oh, I know
Right.
that there's a lot of great actors and actresses that I can't wait to have conversations with and just ask them what's some of the greatest things that you think about this industry, just
Right.
because there's so much of a difference between one person to another person, and everybody is going to come into this industry in so many different ways.
Right.
Now, I do have a question. You said that your wife works at a haunt too?
She works. Yeah, she has been in my scene. She is basically my partner, my scare partner.
So I just want to tell you that is so awesome, and I'm very glad that you have a wife that supports this and wants to do this with you and this and that. Make sure you pat her on the back, give her a big hug, and say, you know, how much you appreciate her doing this. There is in our industry, if you guys don't already know, it is called a haunt widow. And this haunt widow is not just for women, it's for guys too. It is when you're dating somebody or you're married to somebody or whatever, and they work in the industry and you do not. You lose the entire September, October, and sometimes into November to the haunt industry.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, that came into being a terminology of understanding that you didn't lose them in death. You just lost them to Halloween and haunted
Right.
houses. So haunt widows have become such a very, very well-known term in the haunt house industry. So I'm glad that you don't have a haunt widow, because she doesn't get to lose you and you don't get to lose her.
I mean, she's the farthest from a haunt widow. I put a lot of effort and I do a lot of the different things for the haunt, but every year she has been voted the scariest of our haunt. That the first year she was just a victim of playing a victim, and she still won scariest of the haunt. And every year that she has done it, she's been voted scariest. And my scene happens to win because she's in it. So a lot of my success and a lot of my like growth has been mostly because of her and how good she is at being a scare actor. I haven't been voted the scariest at all. And she's done it every year. She's reigning champ.
What you're telling me is the next time we have you on this show, she should be in that seat right beside you.
Yes.
Because
yes.
Number one,
or
to pull off.
Please, can we just have her on all by herself?
We can.
I'm so cool. I agree.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I am absolutely okay with that. Number
And she,
one, when you are a actor or actress that is playing the part of a victim and you absolutely pull that off, that is so much of a key play that
Mhm.
I just love seeing how victims are. So I'm just telling you, she's got some really good brownie points there.
she, I had her. It was the first year I did Madman Moony. She was the victim, and she was in like this a little, like, I wouldn't say super skimpy, but a nightie. And I had her standing in a bucket or a pail of guts, and she had a rope around her wrist, and she was tied up. And you had to go between me and her on the way out. And as soon as people would get close to the door, is when she would give the best "help me," and that would just every people are gone. They don't want to help. They're gone. And so I think that's the lasting thing. The last thing that people remember is this woman screaming, "Help me." And and plus she's really pretty. So they're like, yeah, the really, really pretty girl at the end that screamed at us to help her. Yeah, that scared me. The very last thing, and she would get them. And and then whenever she did her platform boots and was just looking down on people and giving them all kinds of panic, she's a natural at it. She
So
she
I gotta know. This is how I'm envisioning this right now. Okay, you are looking at your phone or you are looking at your computer right now, and she's
uh-huh.
on the other side, just staring at you and saying, "Yes, yes, talk more
Well,
about me."
she was just a minute ago. She's back in the bathroom right now. Uh, but yeah, she was there for a second listening to me, and I was just. She enjoys it when I sing her praises.
That's wonderful. Yes, absolutely. We would love to hear from her and be able to get her own wonderful interview.
No,
Some people are like, yeah, I can scare people, but I can't be on these shows.
well, a lot of people only channel their charisma. Darren Hunt sees them, and I've been able to pull this personality out from being a haunt actor. So being a haunt actor has allowed me to be more of a personality or somebody that I can, wants to talk to. It's a great topic to talk about. So when you're passionate about it, it's easy to talk about it. And I try to channel whatever kind of personality or charisma that it takes to do this. And the first time you start scaring folks, you're nervous. I remember the first time I started scaring folks, I was super scared. I was nervous. It was nerve wracking to start scaring folks. And it's almost like talking to people for the first time and making new friends. Once you get past that threshold of being afraid of confronting people, it becomes easier. And then it becomes easier in your daily life to be able to, come on here and talk to folks. Plus, I'm a Leo, so it's just me, part of me.
So, we're going to wrap this up a little bit just because I can hear more thunder than I can't. And
Oh man,
that
yeah,
means
the
I've
storms
got a
are
storm
coming.
outside. Friday knows how storms go. But
Oh yeah.
so any final questions that you have?
Well, I'm sure that I'm going to be asking a lot of questions along the road of the hunt industry. There's so many things that it's going to be trial and error, and hopefully there's less errors, and I'm able to get like good advice from people that have I've heard somebody say it as eating the dirt of the industry so that the people behind them don't have to. And I'm hoping to learn a lot more. I'm hoping to, turn more people on to being a haunt actor, because you don't really realize how much fun it is. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of effort has to be put into it if you want to be good at it. But the payoff and the payout and the people that you get to meet, it's all worth it.
Awesome. Friday, do you have any other questions right now?
I just realized something I never thought to question. There is like a personality of a haunter that you can find that is like your type of person, and when you look at them, you're like, oh my god, I'd never even thought about that. But that is sort of like I was trying to do and become. Has there been a haunter that you've come across that been like, oh, I never thought about that, I want to try that and see how I can learn from that to make my character better?
Well, the people that I would be taking inspiration from now are from people from on like TikTok. And it's basically it's like getting good ideas on makeup and lighting. Like it's my dream to one day have a haunted laser fog swamp. Want to have one of those scenes so bad. And so it's more inspirations on people like on TikTok, getting ideas on like makeup and like the finer details of like teeth, and getting a good backstory, and just listening to the people that have been in it for a while and learning from them. But I'm honestly kind of just pull my own personality out. I try to be an individualized character. I'm not a clown. I'm not a big five scare actor. I'm not Michael or Jason or Freddy or any of the big names. I'm trying to bring a uniqueness or a unique character. So the only thing that inspires me right now is just people's makeup or their costumes or their props. But right now I'm trying to develop this character that's going to be recognizable in a lot of different platforms.
That I appreciate, and I appreciate you coming on and telling about the different things, because it's helped me think of ways for explaining to them on their mindset, and how to think differently towards the different mindsets, because each haunter has their own mindset, and some of them are more like one way of thinking of like one kid, or one way of thinking of another kid. You're the first one that's come on that's been like, so, oh my god, I now get how to explain to her how she can use what she has and move forward. You're the first one that's been more like my oldest kid than any of the others, and I appreciate that. I really do. I can
Awesome.
now tell her how to use what she has and tweak it a little bit, and that. Thank you.
And then
Where do you
sell
want
it.
people to find you?
Right now, the only platform that I have on is just on TikTok, Ecky's Haunt page. Eventually down the road, I will probably have a Facebook page that I will start working on. But right now, it's just Ecky's Haunt page on TikTok.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you coming in and spending time with us. And I'll tell you, I think what you're doing is wonderful. And
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see what you come up with and add onto your tool belt of the haunted house industry. And keep on inspiring people. I know people that are watching your TikToks are looking at them and saying, okay, well, this is something that maybe I want to get into. So keep on doing that. And once again, we appreciate you coming and spending time with us. And like I said, I've been watching my lights flicker in here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we want to shut down the system before it gets shocked.
Well, I could shut down mine. Okay. I'm just saying, yeah. It's a beautiful sound.
I'm going to
and I'm
take
down
this
in the
out.
basement.
Okay. Here we go.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite seems trying to say is that on Retro Reductopus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Door King Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
Hey everyone, I'm Maximus Christian Bryant, President of the Ohio Haunters Association, and you are watching Chainer's Haunted Secrets on the Owlite Network. And I wanted to invite you all to come see the Ohio Haunters Convention on May 9th and 10th in 2026 at the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. See you there.